Sage Wanderer here, coming at you from my van down by the river. So, I would like to speak briefly about an element of the Civil War hypotheses that I don't know that a lot of people are talking about. And that's the foreign influence that might occur if any civil war arises in the United States. Everyone has a stake in the fate of the United States. There are nations that would love to see America tore down, and then there are nations that want to preserve America. And I don't see anyone from Europe, from Western Europe, any of those nations really rushing to the defense of our government in any other form than United Nations blue hats. Some people are reporting that there is a significant United Nations troop presence here in the United States already. I've seen lots of video of United Nations vehicles, European war vehicles being transported by rail and trucks across the United States, starting a couple years back, really, and speeding up around the election. So you can expect a United Nations interference and presence if there's any kind of civil war in America. But there's another nation that you probably haven't thought much about, and that's Poland. So Poland is very pro-American, and here's why. The Polish people lived under the steel boot of communist rule, and they were able to free themselves and to become an independent nation again, apart from the Soviet Union. The United States was very involved in that, and the Polish people know that, and the Polish people feel a debt of gratitude towards the United States for their help in freeing themselves from communism. And there was a video circulating that I think that has been taken down from YouTube that was quite interesting, and I wish I could remember all the details of it. I should probably start downloading things like that if I can. I don't understand this technology, but I'll probably get some help. But at any rate, I wish I had it to look back and reference, but I've not been able to find it. And maybe you've seen it. If you find it, put a link in the comments section, and I'd like to see it again. But in this video, purportedly published by Polish citizens, they talk about Antifa, and they, even really before I understood the full depth of what was happening in America with Antifa, I saw this video where they called out Antifa, and they said, "We know what this is. This is communist agitation. These are communist agitators. They're communist brown shirts, and they will destroy your country, and they will usher in circumstances that could lead to a communist revolution. And we, the people of Poland, see this where you don't. You're not taking Antifa serious," the video said, "but we know what they are, and we know how to combat them, because we had to fight them here in Poland to gain our independence. And they were also a part of the original communist takeover of Poland." And so in this video, which may have been a scam, honestly, because, in the end they wanted money to come over here and fight Antifa for us and with us. And they were asking American patriots to pay their way over here, send them an airline ticket so they could come and help us. And you have to ask yourselves, other than that that might have been a scam, what other motivation would they have? And it's because Poland loves America, honestly, a lot more than some Americans love America. And if you recall, when Donald Trump traveled there, I believe it was back in the summer, he was given a hero's welcome by the people of Poland. They waved the American flag, they cheered for Donald Trump, and it's because they see us as instrumental in helping them get free of the Soviet Union, and they feel a debt of gratitude towards the United States. And they are definitely more of the patriot right-wing type than anything. They despise communism in Poland. And they're one of the few nations that haven't been accepting immigrants either, because they understand that, that simply is a plot to try to change the nature, makeup, and government of the Polish state, and they just refuse to take them in. Hungary's the same way. These people are also very anti-George Soros. They know who he is and what he stands for. So you could see Polish troops coming here one way or another to engage in the Civil War. And in fact, you will see that there are Polish volunteers who have signed up to go and fight against, you know, ISIS in Syria. So you would definitely see Polish troops here of one sort or another. Then there's another kind of conspiracy theory that emerged around the time of the inauguration that just seemed to go away, and I haven't heard much about it. But for a while, right around the inauguration, there was reports coming from the middle part of America of Russian nationals who were here who were of fighting age and wore military type uniforms, and they were essentially taking over like non-guarded buildings and homes and squatting in empty homes and businesses. And there was a lot of reports of them going into town or whatnot, into these small towns in the Midwest, and procuring military equipment, camping equipment. And when I mean procuring, I mean stealing. You know, they were just taking what they wanted from stores. And I wish I could remember more of the details of these incidences, and maybe I'll do some more research on that. I didn't know what to think of it. But the consensus among conspiracy theories on the events of these mysterious Russians who were showing up in the Midwest, who could barely speak the language rather, and they were being quite aggressive, and they were engaging in basically strong arm robbery, and they seemed to be military, dressed in military. And there was a lot of speculation that there was Russian troops coming into the United States during the inauguration, and people thought it was to protect Donald Trump, that Putin had sent these mercenaries or military men across the Canadian border and into our country to potentially protect Donald Trump against a coup. That kind of played in with the Trump-Russia-Putin collusion story, so I didn't really like it, because I didn't want to feed that fuel any. And then the story kind of went away. But one might assume that Russia would have people here who might engage in civil war on one side or the other. Who knows where they stand? There's a lot of Russians that also hate communism because they had to live under it and they know what it's like. So would this just be, a bunch of basement dwelling, skinny jeans wearing, vegan eating, crybaby snowflake Antifa members? Or would this be more? Would there be more people here, other kinds of people, foreign troops on American soil? I think you could guarantee that would happen in one form or another. So all of you that think if there's a civil war, it would be over by lunch. I do love the joke that it wouldn't be over by lunch because Antifa wouldn't show up till 1 because they sleep till noon. I thought that was pretty funny. You guys are so clever. I love my viewers. Even the ones that hate me, sometimes they crack me up with the insults. They're clever. Other people are just stupid, but there's some people on here that just, love you guys. But yeah, that's something to consider. What if there's foreign troops on both sides? Doesn't that make it more hairy and more difficult? Just something to consider as we look and try to uncover the secrets of what's going on and hypothesize and try to figure out what's going to happen next. All right, back to the river. I got some fishing to do.